This is Eitan Weinstein.
And I'm Naor Menninger, and you're listening to Two Nice Jewish Boys.
Before we get started today, if you're listening to the podcast, you are likely interested in Israel with hopes to travel here soon. Well, luckily for you, we've got the scoop on Masa Israel Journey. With an amazing range of life-changing opportunities in Israel, Masa has tons and tons and tons of programs, from gap year programs to academic programs, internships, volunteering, even career programs. And best of all, the pandemic didn't stop them. They're promoting options to study remotely while living in Israel. So you don't need to be fluent in Hebrew. You don't need to break your bank account. They supply partial funding. And best of all, you can make a positive impact on the world. You can fuel your passion. You can make your travel dreams a reality. You can come to Israel. Masa played a huge part in my life. I ended up making Aliyah after joining a Masa program. Really, really incredible opportunity. Check them out at masaisrael.org for more information, masaisrael.org.
Also for Russian Jews, Ukrainian Jews.
For Jews from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's an amazing organization. Everybody out there, check them out. masaisrael.org. Now to the episode. Last year, we interviewed mountain climber Daniel Wolfson twice. Once before her long-awaited journey to be the first Israeli woman to climb Mount Everest, and then again right after she climbed its peak. Her breathtaking stories inspired us as they inspire thousands of Israelis, men and women alike, who come to Danielle's lectures to hear her swashbuckling tales of perseverance and dedication and courage. Well, now she's done it again. This time, Danielle climbed the peak of Vinson Mountain, the highest mountain in Antarctica. Yes, you heard us right, Antarctica. God knows what made her think of doing that. She made it back in one piece, barely, and now she's here to tell us all about it. Daniel Wolfson is a lawyer by trade, but in her free time, she runs marathons, does triathlons, and conquers some of the highest summits in the world. We're super, super happy, super thrilled to have her on the show today. Thank you so much for joining us, Danielle. Again.
Hello. Finally, I'm here.
Finally. Yes. It's a miracle every time. We're surprised you make it back.
You almost died yet again, right?
Absolutely. Wow. so many things happened since last year. And, people even ask me, I received few messages and ask me, when is going to be the third part of Jewish Boys? We want to hear you about your Antarctica. So I promised it will be soon.
That's what actually carried you through. Right as you were about to die, you were like, I have to do another episode.
Absolutely.
And that's what basically carried you through to the end. We're so honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wait, but you really actually almost died again?
No. In Everest, what happened? We spoke about it. In Antarctica, it was very dangerous. So we can start from this episode, but from the beginning, coming to Antarctica, it's like different planet. It's like you're coming to the space. So I cannot go to the space. I'm not astronaut, and I understand it. And it's
hopefully soon. Jeff Bezos wasn't an astronaut either.
maybe it will happen. But to come there, it's like separate continent, different place, different world, and like nothing I knew before. And I climbed mountain, but on that continent, it's super different. Everything is different.
How do you get there? You take a plane?
Yes.
And where do you land?
It begins from how to get there, and it's not so easy. So it's the south place in the world.
Yeah.
Antarctic. First of all, people a little bit make a mistake, like Arctic and Antarctic. Arctic is the south. It's the north
Pole.
North Pole, northest place in the world, and anti-Arctic, Antarctica. It's opposite of north. So, like from the beginning, I wanted to tell there is no polar bears in Antarctica. There's only penguins. People a little bit make mistakes. Polar bears in the north.
Yeah, because when you turn a polar bear upside down, it becomes a penguin.
Absolutely. It's a penguins.
Yeah.
Only penguins in Antarctica, not in the place that I was, but in the other place in Antarctica. Antarctica is 3,000 kilometers of ice. and there's nobody lives for permanent.
It's amazing.
There's no people that living for permanent. There are stations that people coming only for the summer months. Summer months, it's November, December, January. It's a summertime, 24/7 daylight, like daylight, like simply daylight. There's no night.
There's no night.
And it's like hot months of the year. So it's like -40, -50, -60 Celsius degrees. Yes,
warm.
Celsius. In the winter,
In
it's like
Fahrenheit,
it's
what?
-40
50.
Celsius in Fahrenheit.
yeah.
I don't know. Let's
Is it-
ask Google.
yes.
Hey, Google.
Hold on one
No,
second.
it's
Google.
not connected.
So
What is -40 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Says it's -40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's crazy.
No,
That's
it can be because there's
Yeah.
a certain number.
equilibrium.
it's
Yeah.
like -30 and
exactly
you divide by
-40. Yeah.
-40.
It's -40.
So it's like a warm days. In the
Yeah.
winter, it's like 120 degrees minus
Yeah.
Celsius, below zero.
120.
Yes, in winter. Yes, in winter.
That's
And it's dark.
insane.
And it's dark. 24/7 dark. So I was...
So there are no people there in the winter.
no people, even no people.
Like
even
if you
people
were
that
to
come
go in the like, how long can you survive in -120? Like half an
can't.
hour?
You cannot. There's nobody even stays there. Maybe some stations that people serving there in the stations. There are stations that coming for summer months, but they're going away home.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's possible to survive there.
Wow,
but
that's
it's
crazy.
very so. Antarctica is the most coldest place in the world. So it like logically we need to understand that the north part should be very cold. No,
Mhm.
it's cold. Of course it's cold, but Antarctica is the coldest place in the world. So when it's Antarctica,
I just
So-
read about the Perseverance, right? The ship that they found. Did
Endurance.
you see it? Endurance.
Yeah.
And
But wasn't that was in the North Pole, no?
no, it was
was
in
in
Antarctica.
Antarctica?
in
Yeah.
Antarctica
South
now
Pole.
they found. Yes, I
They
read it
found
before.
it,
Yes,
and I read about the expedition.
Shackleton, the first
Yeah.
one. Yes,
And when one of the interesting parts is when the ship sank, they sent an expedition to find help, but several had to stay behind, and they stayed behind in Antarctica. It was in June, July, August, I think, if
it's
I
a
remember
winter months
correctly.
yes.
And they somehow they had to wait, those who were left behind, without knowing if the expedition for help will ever make it, right?
Wow.
So they had to wait without knowing if, and in the last day, like August 30, I think, which was the last day they said that they should wait, he managed to come and save them, and they lived for like 2 months or a month
In the
in
winter.
Conditions in winter
100
conditions.
years ago.
Wow,
I don't know how.
That's
How it's possible?
insane.
Yeah.
actually, it's impossible.
Like Han Solo, where
Yeah,
you
when
cut
he cut
open the
Star Wars.
yeah.
It's like there's no in part that I when I told people that I'm going to Antarctica, first of all they asked me, is there any mountains in Antarctica? So yes, there are mountains in Antarctica. There are mountains in Antarctica. There's Vinson massive mountains. So the highest mountain in Antarctica, Vinson, it's like almost 5,000 meters. That going to be highest mountain in that continent.
It's ice. It's all ice.
Icy, yes, only ice.
No, but it is the mountain itself
Icy.
is
It's like only ice.
no. There's no rock formation
It's
underwards.
rock, but on this rock like ice,
Covered in ice.
covered by ice.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
like a
okay.
blue ice. It's also a blue ice. It's a different ice. Blue ice because of the sun, so it becomes a blue ice.
wow.
It's unbelievable view, but very,
How many
very
people
cold.
reached?
From first time who stepped on Antarctica, it was 1966. It's not so long time, even after Everest. So it's Antarctica is from the highest seven summits in the world. Like there are seven mountain in each continent. So Antarctica, Vinson, highest mountain. This mountain was discovered the last one from the seven. 1966, the first time, the American expedition reached this summit.
It's only three years before they landed on the moon.
3 years, yes, right. The 69, Gagarin, first
Yeah.
time, right. And Everest is 53, 50
Yeah.
on 53.
Wow.
Yes. So since then, it's only 1,200 people reach the summit in whole world. It's not so many people.
Not in the whole
1,000?
world. In the whole world since 1966.
Six, yes.
That's more than the population today, because it's
1,000?
people who have also died.
No,
Yes, 1,000.
1,000 made it to the
No,
summit.
I know. I'm saying
summit.
that it's not. It's a cumulative population, because it's people who have also passed away. You're not
Yes.
just counting the people who exist today, but the
Ah.
people who existed.
Yeah, from 1966,
Yeah.
1,000, how many?
200 people.
Made
On
it.
Everest, from 1953, almost 6,000 people. So Antarctica people not coming. Like, it's very,
Wow.
very... And now we're coming to this question. It's very
Only
hard...
crazy people.
Only crazy people who want... But it's very hard to reach this continent. First of all, I need to arrive to Punta Arenas, the south city in the world,
Argentina?
Punta Arenas in Chile.
In Chile.
In Chile, yes.
Okay.
So we arrived 50 hours flight. There's no direct flight. But after 50 hours, I arrived in Punta Arenas. So it's a small city, very nice city, Chilean city, good city, very modern city.
How
And
do you get like Santiago and then?
Yes, I fly like Tel Aviv, Paris, Santiago, Punta Arenas, exactly. Yes, like
Wow.
that. It took
Jeez.
the time. And from Punta Arenas, there is a special plane that took us, special Ilyushin plane, there is a special plane, that Russian plane, that took us to the Union Glacier.
That's before the
Station-
sanctions.
Yes, Union Glacier. So we arrived to the Union Glacier, and this already planned, the airport,
by plane
it's a special plane that can land on the ice.
on the ice.
Yes,
okay.
it's a special-
Because
it's
my
very, very
sister
special.
actually went to Antarctica,
Yes.
and she went there by boat from Punta Arenas or whatever.
Yes, she could, to Union Glacier.
Yeah.
So it's a special plane.
Okay.
So can land it, there's like regular brakes cannot stop the plane with ice. So it's a special, and we arrive there in Punta Arenas. Before that, we do inspection, exactly. Because you cannot bring to Antarctica no bugs, no flies, nothing. It's a clean Antarctica. There's no garbage. There's nothing at all. And you cannot even bring anything with you that can infect Antarctica. Because something, even small thing that can infect all Antarctica. And there's
What do you mean?
There is no
Like what?
viruses like flies or insections like
Insects.
insects. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So they check everything. They check the bags. They put special special things on the bags, and you of course clean your climbing boots with a special thing, because you can't even step on ice of Antarctica with the dirty boots. Because you cannot even bring no sand, no nothing.
Wow.
You need to be clean.
Because there's an ecological system in Antarctica that they
Yes.
want to preserve.
Absolutely.
Biosphere.
And
But who is it? I mean, this is getting a bit political, but like, who enforces this? Who is the sovereign of Antarctica? Is
Antarctica
it
is
shared?
not belonging to any country. It's like there's no.
Wow, sounds like a real estate opportunity
We can
to
take
me.
it. Yeah.
There is no countries that ruling Antarctica. There is 11 countries that put station on Antarctica, and they have like a consensus. They can rule all this Antarctica, and they're sending their people to investigate. We can build the station, but there's only one company that won in a tender, ALE, Antarctic Logistic Expedition. So every few years there is a tenders that they're choosing the companies that can rule all
Logistically rule all of the
yes,
all of
planes,
the stations.
Yes, absolutely, and also people that coming to Antarctica.
And what does that mean? A tender? So the best offer wins,
Yeah,
or it's a
the best-
rotation?
that can bring the best, I think, the best solutions for everything that happens there. Only one
okay.
company. There's a monopoly. They're
Okay.
ruling everything. ALE, it's Antarctic Logistic Expedition, and they're ruling all these
And
expeditions.
every year, every 7 years.
They're already more than 5
Who
years.
cares,
so-
man? It's the most boring thing
Yes.
I ever heard.
I wanna. It's interesting.
Yes, but no,
Who
it's
is the CEO of this company?
no.
Who?
It's like, but they're ruling everything. So we come
It's an
there.
opportunity.
We come there, and after this plan, we need to take to Union Glacier. So if it's good weather, we cannot stay at Union Glacier. What's Union Glacier? It's a station.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can stay if there is a bad weather. We can put our tents and sleep in the tents until the special small plane, very very small plane from that coming especially from Canada that can also land on the on the ice and bring us to the base camp Vinson. So
Mhm.
only from then we start our expedition.
And
So-
only if the weather is good.
Oh, weather good. So we arrived to Union Glacier in 1 hour. They announced us that it's can be an opportunity for window, good weather. In 1 hour we go by this plan, 40 minutes, and we arrive to base camp of Vinson. Base camp of Vinson, it's only tents. There's no tents. We need to build our camp. There's a base camp, but very empty. Maybe some expedition came before us, so there are special tents that they already built. So we come there minus 30 degrees, very windy. It's windy. All the time is the daylight, so there is no need lights. So we don't need to bring lights. And we are starting to build our camp because we need to do work very fast. It's
How
very
many
cold.
people are you?
We were 6 people. 6 people in our expedition. I don't know if you know these guys. Nims from Nepal that 14 peaks, reached 14 peaks in 6 months.
With the new documentary now on Netflix?
Yes, absolutely.
He was just on the Joe Rogan
Yes.
podcast.
Who? Nims?
Yesterday I heard his
yeah,
podcast.
yesterday.
Yesterday I heard his podcast. Yes,
on Joe Rogan.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Nims, we
and
were
he has there's a Netflix documentary on him.
absolutely 14 peaks in 6 months, 6 months and 6 days.
What's his name?
Nims, Nirmas Purja.
Yeah.
We spent with him almost all months together in Antarctica. He was a part of Antarctica. He didn't lead the expedition. He was like me, came to Antarctica to climb Mount Vinson. So it was interesting expedition. So we started to build our camp, base camp. We started to build. So how it works? Everything you bring by sleds.
Wait, but you were the only girl?
I was not. It was one more girl.
Okay.
Yes.
So 2 women, 4 men.
Yes, and we are starting build. So there's no woman, man. It doesn't matter. Like if you come to the expedition, you need to work as everybody other works. There's no gender in this expedition. As I told in Everest, I forgot about my gender. Am I boy? Am I girl? I didn't know. In Antarctica, of course, I forgot about my gender.
It's too cold to think
It's
about.
too cold, absolutely. And there's no benefits that I'm woman.
You freeze your dick off anyway, so.
We are there, and only the one problem is for women. It's more harder to do our basic needs. So basic needs we need to do in like an AP battle. So for men, it's much easier to do in the battle. For women, we need special device and also to do other things. So it's only a difference between men's and women. Other things, it's like the same things. So we come to the base camp, starting build our camp, and we decided that we are going next day to low camp, camp 1, because it was sounds going to be good weather. So on the next day, we build camp in base camp. But on the next day, we cannot leave anything. So we need to unpack our camp. Everything starting again. So we built for 1 night, all tents. So now we are packing our tents, taking sleds and going to the low camp. We're coming to the low camp, again, building everything, melting water from snow to preparing food. How we use. It's very difficult to prepare the food, but we need first to melt the water. It takes hours. Like 1 liter, it can take more than an hour to melt from snow. It's also that it's not icy snow. It's like a snow. It's a different snow from Everest even. So it takes more time, and it's very cold. So you need a special benzene that you're working, and everybody preparing the food in his tent. And we are
You prepare your water by melting ice?
Yes.
You
It's
can't
also-
bring water?
No, of course not.
Because you
Of
don't want
course
to
not.
bring what? You don't want to bring
it's not
plastic?
first of all, yes, and secondly, there's no need. There's a lot of snow, so everything. That's why also the snow must be clean, because this snow we are eating, like we are preparing things from this snow that we are putting our legs on it. I don't need to go far to bring snow. It's like near tent, just taking a little snow in my
Wow.
Yes, so that's why Antarctica is so clean. Everything clean. So we spoke about basic needs. So everything we bring back to Chile. We cannot leave anything. All bags, all bottles, everything we are bringing back. So back to Chile, we cannot leave anything. Like no garbage, no position 1, no position 2, nothing. We bring back to Chile, to Punta Arenas, everything that we did during our expedition.
Only
And if
people who
somebody-
didn't make it.
Who didn't make it? Yes.
Frozen
no, but
in the
it's
snow.
funny in the when you land in Chile and you need to put your bag in the X-ray machine.
No,
You
it's
see
before-
all human feet, like bags of human.
You really?
You're not following the conversation.
You have to
huh?
take that back.
No, of
Oh, fuck
course.
off!
Everything,
You have to take that back.
everything we bring back. Everything we must bring. Otherwise, it's a very high fine, and they will also not allow to next year to that expedition to come again. So it's very, very. It's like they're crazy about it. A moto clean Antarctica all the time. There are rangers that come in and checking if you do something, and if you do some pee and a little bit snow become yellow. By mistake, not especially. They're coming and you put everything like with, how you call it?
Like a dustpan.
Yeah.
Yes, you put it
What?
to the back,
That's craziness.
closing and bringing with you everything to the Chile back. That's Antarctica. That's why Antarctica is clean. We cannot make anything. So they want that everybody will feel like nobody put his leg on this continent.
Now I
very
want to go to Antarctica and take a piss.
It's very hard to be there. So we are coming to the low camp and we decide that we are going to the high camp,
Okay.
camp, and from there maybe we can summit. And we're so happy that maybe we can do it fast.
What's the
But-
height of the summit?
The summit is 4,862 meters, almost 5,000.
And the
meters.
base camp?
Base camp 2,800 meters. After that, it's 3,200. After that, additional camp 3,600, and the summit.
Is it like distance? Sorry, it's post-COVID, guys.
Post.
Yeah. Hopefully it's post and not a new variant. So comparing to Everest, is it more to climb, less
Oh.
climbing?
Yes, it's a very good question because it's a different story. Like the altitude here, it's not an issue. Yes, altitude almost 5,000 meters, the mountain, and because we are far from the I forgot the Kav Mashve, no?
The equator.
The equator. In the mountain, as far you're from equator, so the altitude you feel more. So right, Antarctica is in the south part, so 5,000 you feel like a 7,000 meters. It's okay, but the altitude is not an issue. Here in Antarctica, the issue is the physical and the extreme cold weather. That's only issues there. There's also a little bit Technique Mountain, a little bit. There's a part of Technique Mountain. So in one day we need to do like 1,000 meters up. But it's not so high like in Everest. So it should be easier. But it's not becoming easier because we need to take sled with me. Everything that is my equipment and part of the team equipment, like part tents and the all equipment for cooking and foods, we divide between everybody. So everybody brings his equipment. It's like 40 kilograms, until 60 kilograms, it depends. So we take with us by sleds.
Why?
And it's
Why do you do
physically
this again?
hard
Why?
and
why,
cold.
Why?
Very cold.
Why do you do this?
I do it. Yes.
We talked about it.
Yes.
If you want to know why she does it, please
a
tune
good
in to the
question.
first.
Yeah.
I think that I'm already addicted and I cannot stop. It's
But
like,
wait,
This
you
is
said you're taking
craziness.
it on a slide.
Yes, on the sleds we take
Sled,
of course
yeah.
our backpack and maybe backpack like 20 kilograms and the sled
Which you tow.
Yes.
It's with a rope tied
with
to
the
you.
rope tight, and we are coming.
Uh-huh.
We are going together, two people together by rope, because otherwise they can. There's crevasses, so if there's crevasses, so people going with rope together, so somebody can make safety or take out other person if something happens. So two persons going together with one rope.
How
And
deep
two
are these
sleds.
crevices? How deep are the crevices?
It's like can be 10 meters, 20 meters, 12 meters, and we cannot know. Like only if somebody can fall down. So inside, like it's cover everything with by snow. I cannot see even. Everything covered by snow, but it can be crevasse. Sometimes you see crevasse in the snow, you can see. So you go, not going on crevasse, but sometimes you don't see, it's covered.
So you could sink in the snow, basically,
Of
in the
course.
crevice?
Of course, it can happen. That's why you're
What do you
going
mean,
by.
of course?
No,
This
that's
isn't a
why you are
normal-
going. That's why you're going by two, and there is a 3 meters between each person, so it's enough, like a rope to stop. Like if somebody can fall down, so
Ah.
I can stop other person.
Hopefully.
Yes,
So you
hopefully.
catch them, they
Yes,
sink in the snow,
absolutely.
and then you
That's
pull
why
them
It's
the
not
out.
sinking in the snow.
It's
It's,
like-
it's a pit. You
It's like
fall
a
to the
pit.
pit.
Absolutely.
But
it's
in
like a pit.
snow,
In snow.
No.
In ice.
it's all
in
full.
ice.
It's all full of snow, or it's
ice.
No.
It's ice. It's like snow covered, and you can pit like a pit,
And you
like
just
a
fall under.
whore in the in
Like a
in
hole.
the
Trap.
ice.
It's
Yes.
like
Yeah.
a trap.
Jesus.
That's why you go
Death trap.
two person together.
Yeah, that's why you go
cannot
to,
go
or
by-
that's why you don't go.
And the physically and the weather condition, that's what
Yeah.
hard in Antarctica. It's not so altitude like in Everest. There is no oxygen. No, there is oxygen. It's not so. You can, of course, there are some people that become sickness of altitude. It can happen, but there's no need acclimatization like in Everest, going up and down, going up and down. No, but what happened with us? So we arrived to high camp, and the weather become very bad, 67 degrees minus, and the wind like more than 80 kilometers per hour. People told me it cannot be, but it can. And like torn all tents, and we are staying in high camp, and we have to decide we cannot go to the summit, so we need to go back. But we need to go back. It's also dangerous because there is a part of 800 meters, very, very steep, like 70 degrees. We need to work with Jumar. So when we are going up, we are going with Jumar. When we are going down, we need to go by rope. And it become very dangerous.
Wait,
so we
so
need to
there's a
decide.
wall.
We stuck there.
There's
on
a
high-
wall
Yes.
of 800.
Meters. Yes,
Meters.
like this. Yes. Part of 70 degrees, part of 90 degrees, part of negative. It depends. It's not like all wall like this.
Yeah.
Can be like this, can be like this, can be different. But it's a wall, yes. So we need
That
to
you
decide
need to
what
climb
to do.
it.
Yes.
And then you when you climb it, you tie the the equipment, and then you
Climb, yes, very, very, very slow. Very slow.
What? How do? What? Huh?
It gets
there's a
How
wall.
do you-
There's a nice
yeah.
wall.
How do you climb it?
Haven't you
We
seen
climb
Great
it-
Game of Thrones? It's the
It's
same
like-
concept.
like with a Jumar. With,
What's
with
a
rope,
Jumar?
With a harness.
Is that a
Jumar, it's
fruit
a special. No,
or a
Jumar.
superpower?
I'm all the time telling thanks Jumar. It's a French guy that invented this Jumar. I can show you a photo, but
What is it like a
a
pick?
French, like
that you-
it's a special Jumar that can. It's like a safety. Like you're with a harness, with a rope, with carabinas, with everything. And Jumar, there is a fixed rope.
yeah.
So you can put your Jumar to fix ropes that on this part of the 800 meters, so you can go with Jumar. So when you stop with your Jumar, it's like stopping and you are not falling down. That's all
I don't
Jumar doing.
understand.
And it's very good.
That sounds
But no, no,
terrifying.
believe me,
Basically, you
it's like
climb
it's like
an 800 wall of ice,
yes, yeah,
and you
need
just
to do-
climb like in
Yes,
movies. You
yes.
just
So
climb
at
it.
one point, you're 750 meters up in the air against a wall that's pretty much vertical, and all that's holding you up is a rope.
Yes, and we are need so we
It's
Wow.
the Jamar.
Yeah,
it's like
not just-
Jumar.
Yeah,
Jumar
you-
would say,
it must
It-
be.
I
It must
thanks
be
to Jumar.
genderless. It must be genderless up there because you have balls of steel.
That when we stuck in high camp, I was very cold. I'm telling now.
That's
It's my.
crazy.
I'm telling my feeling and what happened to me. So I never was cold like that. Not in Everest when it was minus 45 on the summit. Not other mountains that I was in the cold mountains. I was very cold. I couldn't do anything. But you understand, when Antarctica, it's one more important thing. So you need to be all the time in the movement. Of course, we are going with the down jackets, down climb suit. We are the special boots with special gloves, special hats, everything, special thermo. But when you are moving, so the blood is working inside me. When I'm stopping, it's like in few seconds, 30 degrees minus in the body. And when it becomes like very windy, minus 67, and I stopped, I couldn't do anything. Like it never happened to me.
Also, the body works really hard to keep your warmth.
Absolutely, even I'm very slow,
And it
but I'm
burns
moving.
loads of energy.
And when I stop, I cannot stop. Like Antarctica, you cannot stop. You cannot stop. You need to eat, to drink, to do everything when you're moving.
So you eat a
Moving.
lot more when you're down there than you eat when you're like in
course.
a normal.
Oh,
Like how much are you eating?
First of all, there's no appetite. So, but in Antarctica, every day I lose like 7,000 calories.
Calories.
Like 1 kilogram every day.
7,000.
Yes, of course I cannot put inside back all these calories. I can eat. Of course, we eat some bars and some like
You burn
special
7,000
burn
calories.
7,000 calories.
Okay.
I cannot put inside myself.
Yeah.
So how many
7,000.
calories do you eat a day?
Maybe I can 2,000, 3,000. I cannot.
I eat
even I eat-
2,000
yes.
a day, and I don't climb any mountains.
I even a little bit gain in my weight before Antarctica.
yeah?
I need to to be
okay.
more, to be.
That's part of it?
Yes, it's part of it.
Wow.
You need, I didn't want, but I need to survive. So
That sounds like the fun part.
no,
I do that part all year long.
no,
I
like
don't climb a mountain
peanut-
after.
no, like eating peanut butter or
I've been-
Macedonia. I
I've been
cannot.
preparing for a trip to Antarctica my whole life.
But you're losing a lot only because you are in that part very
Yeah.
cold and windy.
Yeah.
You're losing a lot of calories, many calories, and you are
Wow.
So
That
I
is
can stop,
insane.
and it was very all the team. We are on the high camp. We are standing. We need to build camp,
Yeah.
to put our tent,
yeah.
and nobody can do it.
But you said the wind was too strong.
Too strong, and we are frozen.
60 kilometers.
67 degrees below zero and 80 kilometers per hour. It's
80 kilometers.
like sleds in the air, like bags in the air. Like me can be like 54 kilograms. Like maybe I was like in the air. I'm like with the ice axe holding myself, like putting ice axe in the snow and with the rope and holding myself, because
That's
otherwise I
insane.
can. And we need to build tent, and we need to put tent, and we need to build camp, because otherwise we need to decide what we are going to. We cannot go to the summit. We need to go down, but we cannot go down because we can going
Fall
with-
off.
yes.
You can go fly in the wind.
and it was very dangerous. So we stuck there for 2 days.
2
Hike-
days
Yes.
because of the wind.
Yes. We
The
cannot
wind
go.
just kept going for 2 days.
Yes, it was like a part of silence of the wind, but we cannot start. We wanted to start to go, but we cannot.
Did you manage
start.
to make a camp, like tents and
We
stuff?
went to a tent, 6 people in the tent, sitting there, like everybody hugging each other, but it's very cold. Unbelievable.
You
It's
can
like-
start a fire
Yeah,
inside the
of course not. There's no fire, no nothing. It's like even very hard to work with benzene. There is a special benzene that MSR that you can put a gas, like not gas with benzene, white benzene, special benzene. Why white benzene? Because you cannot put on the snow other benzene. It's not. It's just like special things there, and you cannot it's very hard. And we need to frozen, and we need to prepare water to drink something, and the food. It's not. Don't need to bring to prepare food. There is a special bags of food that only need to put hot water
Yeah.
inside the bag, like a 600 calories. It's a good food in the mountains, that situation. But we cannot prepare the water. We need to prepare to bring snow.
Because
to
the
bring
wind is too
of the
strong?
wind, we cannot go outside. So hours and
In
hours.
the tent, is there wind?
In the tent, it's like.
It's
the
like
tent
you
is
can
like
hear it.
moving. We
yeah.
need to hold it. Yes, and it's torn. We need also
But
to
you
build
can-
a wall outside of the tent in order it will not break the tent.
So you build like a wall out of
Yes,
ice.
we need to do it, but how we can manage in that conditions?
But did you?
Of course, otherwise it will break it all tent.
And
Like,
you
it
wouldn't
will
be
not-
able to be there for
Like,
48
so
hours.
we
you
did
were
like
there.
parts: 2 people outside, 2 people inside, 2 people outside, 2 people inside. Like we need to do.
And you build a
turns.
wall. What does it look like? It looks like a hole,
I
or
can
did you
show
build
you,
an
yes.
actual wall?
Actual wall, like with the bricks of ice. Like we need to.
Wow.
Yes.
Is there
need to do-
Wi-Fi there?
Of course not. Antarctica is most unconnected.
Like,
It's like in
like
Everest.
no, like not even
but
3G.
No, nothing.
That's
Like
crazy.
only walkie-talkie sometimes working that can connect to the rangers that in the base camp that we can tell them how are you.
Like if you
We
all
can-
die, you stay there, or someone comes to.
Rangers will come after
Uh-huh.
that. Yes, they will come. There is no situation like in Everest. There's
But
no
only because you can't
possibility.
Pollute.
because you can't
I will tell.
pollute.
Yeah, there is helicopters that come and rescue when it's good weather, of course. But when it's bad weather, it's not possible. They can come even to throw like a rope, and you can connect to the rope. But it should be good weather.
Yeah.
When the bad weather, you cannot do anything.
So what?
Nobody
How
will
did
come.
you pass the time in those 48 hours? Like, do you just
We are doing
sit
nothing.
silently and
Like
each one?
preparing water, it takes hours. After water, prepare food to put hot water.
So
to
you're
eat the
just
food.
busy.
Very busy to put boots, climbing boots.
You manage to sleep?
No, you're not sleeping. Maybe sleeps 1 hour, opening hours, speaking nonsense, like you're doing nothing. All the time somebody going outside checking the tent if to bring more ice, more to build wall, to check the situation. Otherwise we don't have tent, so we don't have anything. Like not actually, if there is no tent, there is some techniques that you are building graves, like graves in the snow, so you can sit there. Otherwise you cannot stand on that altitude with this wind, with this, like there is no possibility to survive. No possibility. Even I'm in the climbing suit, it doesn't matter. So that's Antarctica is so hard. It's very hard. So we go down after 2.5 days that we are sitting there, going down to the base camp, because they told us that it's going to be 5 days, bad weather, and we even cannot stay in camp 1 and camp 2. We cannot stay. We need to go to the base camp. So we did all the way to the base camp.
Back.
But we didn't summit it yet.
So you went all the way up. I don't know how many.
Almost.
1,000
meters.
meters.
Yeah, 1,000 meters left to the summit.
So you went up to 4,000 meters altitude.
Yes.
And you set up a tent so that the wind wouldn't blow you away in the wind.
Yes. And
You waited 48 hours and then went back down.
of course.
Climbing down the wall of death.
Yes,
There's no
absolutely.
elevator?
No elevator. We need to pass it, of course.
But
there's
that's
no-
the vertical wall of death that they climbed up. Now they climbed it down.
After sitting 5 days in base camp, so base
Yeah,
camp.
but there's the jamun
of
fruit.
course.
Jamun fruit you eat and gives you flying abilities,
Yeah.
right?
So base camp, it
This
was
is just
also bad
fantasy to me.
weather. It was also bad weather. It not so bad weather, like it was up. So it was minus 30. It was windy. So we stuck there for 5 days. We are sitting there, but the good sitters, it was a food. But also for all this expedition, we have like a limited food. We are not bringing all the food for months to sit there. No, we are bringing limited food. And as more we are sitting there and not moving, there is no food. So actually, more of our food was in the camp 1, because we left when we are going up. I didn't tell you, but on the way we are also leaving the food in camps.
Oh,
that
you
we'll
left the food.
Yes, of course. We cannot. Like we
Okay.
need to be very easy. Like we
I
cannot
see.
take all the
Yeah.
food. We are bringing only food for 2 days, 1 day.
Yeah.
Exactly what.
And
so,
you don't have any Wi-Fi,
so what
you
happened?
can't
Of
like
course, no
you can't
Wi-Fi.
order Walt or anything
No,
like
no
that.
Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
no nothing, no connection. No, only in Everest it was base camp was Wi-Fi, so I
Yeah.
could like. There's nothing.
You could 10 piece.
There is nothing
Yeah.
connected. You are disconnected from the world at all.
That's
Like
crazy.
nothing.
Okay, so you get down. You don't have enough food. What do you
So we're
guys?
sitting there 5 days, but our guides, it was a team leader of our group, so he remembers that it was 2 years didn't go the expedition because of Corona. So he remembers that there is before 2 years, when you finish expedition, you put all your food or everything like you need in some hole, like a pit. You're like digging a pit and living there in the depth of like a deep of like 25 meters, 30 meters inside. You are living there, things. When you're not bringing back, because you will use
The
it next
extra
year.
thing.
Next year, you will use it next year. So he remembers that before 2 years, it was 2 years expedition. When he was,
Genius.
there were some things that he left inside the pit, and you are going outside, starting dig to take food. So we found
And you found?
coffee, like coffee. You know what's coffee? We found even meat that was like 2 years ago, but doesn't
But it
matter.
was
In this
frozen.
frozen, it's even. We even found the bread, a little bit bread, like. Yes, we found the little. So it was, you know, what happiness it was inside. Like you are finding.
Suddenly
some-
you find like Hitler's body.
Yes,
Yeah.
like,
This is where he went.
yes. And the weather become a little bit better. We starting our expedition from the beginning, going camp 1, camp 2, camp 3.
That's the craziest part to me about all the stories you come back with is the fact that you go up and then down. And you didn't even finish. Like you go up like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 meters, and you go down and you're not done.
But that's alive. Also in Everest, there are people, climber always like sewing the mountain, going up and down. But down, you're going in order to summit, to reach your summit. Like it doesn't matter, Everest and Vinson. And sometimes in the life, and then when I'm thinking, we stop also in the life. And people sometimes are thinking that we are stopping in the life. It's like a failure. No, in the mountains, everything is primitive. Going up, going down, going up, going down. But down, we are going in order to reach the summit. In the life, it's the same. We stop in maybe going sometimes back in order to reach our summit in every field that we want to reach. So sometimes going down, it's not so bad. So
Beautiful.
and it's so you only understand when you are in the mountain. It's so primitive.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the life, it's too many noises around us, so we don't understand that sometimes
Here,
we are,
Mother Nature forces you back
absolutely, absolutely. And after that,
Wow.
that we are going camp 1, camp 2, camp 3,
down. Yeah.
weather not so good, but we are starting, and summit day, very cold day. We decided that we are not going on that summit day because of we saw the weather, and the rangers told us by walkie-talkies that if you are not going to summit this day, we are going to stuck for 5 days. So we decided to do it. Bad weather, windy, cold, but we are doing that, not giving up. After 10 hours, we are reaching the summit. And the summit, like I don't know, like on Everest and summit, something happens. On the summit, when I'm coming to the summit, I don't know if I'm bringing, suddenly the sun is comes, and like everything is opening. So when I stood on the Vinson, it was so clear.
Wow.
And I will show you the photos. Also in Everest. But when I'm going down, the weather became so bad that you cannot believe. It was so bad, and the team leader told if you're not going in 4 hours down to the high camp, we are going to stuck here, and we need to do it fast, and we are doing very fast. Coming to high camp, and everything like in the air, tents broken, things that we left there broken, like in the air, like unbelievable. And we need to go down, also this wall, and on the wall things happened, and I thought that it finito, like finish, like
this is the end.
What
this
happened?
end.
What happened on the
like,
wall?
In the wall, like the wind, it takes me in the air. I'm with my backpack and like with ice axe, with a carabiner, with some equipment, but
Climbing down.
But I understand that I cannot stop. I need to go, but I cannot go. The wind and the snowstorm, everything happens, and I cannot go. I don't see anything. Like, you don't see anything. First of all, Google's frozen. Like, there's very windy, very stormy, so I'm with Google's, but it's very frozen, so I don't see anything. So I take out my Google's in order to see something, how I'm going, and I don't see anything. Like anything snow. And we need to continue, and everybody yelling on me, go down, and I don't hear. There's somebody.
And is the wind blowing you?
Yes, exactly.
From
And like I'm falling few times, and a little bit broken here, but it's a small things broke here. And
what do you
I'm
mean a
falling,
little thing broke here?
No, like a little bit, and doesn't matter.
Like
Now
a little spine fracture, not
Yes.
a big. Really?
yes, a little bit. But
Spine?
yes, but it's
What?
happens. It happens.
It happens.
It happens. It's
Yeah.
already. I like recover, but
Wow.
and
But I mean, the wind took you far away from the wall.
absolutely
Like how
like
far?
outside, but out it
Like
can take
meters
2
away?
meters, 3 meters, and I need to come back.
You're on the
and we are
rope.
going with the rope. Yes,
And you're just
so
flying in
we
the
are going
wind.
together with the rope, so everybody connected to anybody. So,
Ah.
but when I'm going in I take with me other people.
And then the wind can push you back on the
Abs-
wall,
It's
and you crash on the wall, basically.
I'm telling that I told that like somebody, I think that from up is taking care of us, or taking care of me, and nothing happened, because on that expedition things can happen and can be very dangerous and can finish not in that way. So we are coming, we need to go down to low camp in order like to be more safety. We are coming to the low camp, and everything, the wind not stopping, storm not stopping, and I'm so tired, and cannot, not only me, all the team, we are so tired, but we need to go down to the base camp because we cannot stop there, because all tents broken. We can stay there. We can't like be there, like outside. And we need to go only into the base camp, because in the base camp we left tents that we can build and still in a good condition. And they are telling that we need to go more. So after 17 hours, I think, we reached to the base camp.
17 straight hours of climbing.
Yes,
Down.
we reached to the base camp.
Climb 17 straight hours from the summit to the base camp.
From after, yes, we reached the summit, going down. It took to going down 17 hours.
So, but you
I'm not
also
telling 10
climbed
hours,
for many
10
hours.
hours, yes, 10 hours.
10
for
hours
summit,
to the summit.
Yes.
You were on the summit for what, an hour?
like 40 minutes, 30 minutes.
40
yes.
minutes?
Yes.
And then 17 hours. So
Going
27
down.
hours straight of climbing.
No, I think even only it was somebody told 29 hours. Yes, going. Yes.
Wow.
We came to the base camp and we cannot go. We stuck there again, and we stuck there because of the bad weather for more than 1 week. So
In the
there's
base
no
camp.
Yes.
Wow.
There are no planes that can come. As I told you, we came to the base camp with a special plane, very small planes that coming with the sleds, like coming from Canada, special planes. And
But
we
you
cannot
know
go.
that you'll survive by then.
Yes, we stopped in the base camp.
What do you mean
Nobody-
coming from Canada?
They're coming bringing special planes from Canada.
But like not directly. You mean Canada? They land
Not
in
directly, of
South
course.
Chile, and then
Of course, no. There's special planes that can be only fly only 4 hours
they're
in
made
the air.
in Canada.
Because
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
only 4 hours. It's also the story how they're bringing this plane, but
Wow.
and it was
So do you think like you went too far with this one?
I can answer that.
other expeditions that come after us. It was one more expedition after us, so it was very sunny for them. It's like they were in different expeditions, although it was very cold, but it was sunny, good weather. So I'm asking myself, so could I knew that it will be better weather? Could I predict that I will be in the better situation? But as climbers telling, like the mountain need to allow you to summit, and most important thing, to release you.
Maybe you shouldn't have kept on to the summit when the weather was so bad. Maybe it was a mistake.
But you can never really know.
I cannot really know. Maybe.
Let me ask you, in retrospect, are you happy that you were on the expedition that had this crazy weather, and not on the expedition that had it all nice and sunny?
Yes. I told even to my friends to the expedition, we were 25 days in Antarctica. 25 days. The expedition should be like less. And I told that happy that I realized and I could feel this continent. Because if I come and do fast, everything is going very easy. So like everybody can do it, I think. And I really was in a tough, hard conditions in Antarctica. And of course, it's dangerous. But I really like how I can like tasted this continent. I knew I want to come back. Like, you are going to hate this continent, or you are going to be in love with this continent. So there's a plans about Antarctica, future plans to cross Antarctica and to reach the South Pole, and all.
So you're gonna be back.
I want to come back. Yes.
We've asked you this question like facetiously, like joking, but does part of you want to die on an expedition?
No, not at all.
No?
Not at all.
You don't feel like that's the way Danielle needs to go? Like,
Wow, it's a question. No, not at all. Not at all. I want to survive. I think everything can happen. Of course, everything can happen. And of course, I put myself in a very dangerous conditions. I understand it. Like people telling me that I'm a little bit trulululu, but I'm telling, no, I'm ordinary woman. I'm not trulululu. Of course, I understand everything. I understand the dangers of climbing. But no, of course not. I choose the best expeditions that can be, the best equipment.
I don't think it's so trulululu. I'm saying, it's like the Vikings and even like a lot of cultures have it, where like there's a high value for, let's say in the Viking culture, for warriors, right?
Yes.
And so they have this, they're like driven to die in battle. Like it's the greatest thing. So I feel like as an extreme mountain climber, it's like maybe that would be,
No. I have many plans. I have many goals.
God forbid in the near future, but like, when you're 95 years old, like, is that what you, that's not what you're...
I didn't think about it. No, that's not what I want for now. No. I have many plans to do. I want to be on the many mountains. No,
God willing. I hope it's not.
But I'm telling all the time, thanks God that nothing happened to me, and thanks God that I can come back and hug my son again.
Are you religious? Do you believe in God?
I believe very much. Yes, very much.
And you believe he's with you on these?
And absolutely. When I'm reaching also, it's like symbolic, yes, but I'm standing on the summits of mountain, like can be closer, Like
Mhm.
I'm above the clouds. I'm
Yeah.
standing above the clouds. Really, like actually. So I'm on the highest place in Antarctica or highest place in Mount Everest or next expedition. When you're going to ask me, I'm going to Denali, highest mountain in Alaska. So I feel it. I feel it that I'm very, very like somebody keeping me, like somebody telling me everything is okay. I believe in God. I'm like.
And do you speak to, like, in these tough moments, do you find yourself speaking to God?
Absolutely, I'm telling yes.
Like when you were
Even
climbing
praying,
down the wall?
Even praying when I'm going in that weather, I told like
What did you ask for?
I told אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, בבקשה תשמור עליי שלא יקרה לי שום דבר. כאילו, I'm praying, I'm telling thanks that you release, thanks to the mountain, thanks to the God, thanks to the somebody that happens that I can come home. I believe very much.
Oh.
I think so. I don't know, helping, not helping, but something inside me, like I thankful for everything. When I come home after Antarctica, I'm not speaking about making shower in Antarctica. Yes, 2 months I didn't shower in Everest, so 1 month, almost 1 month in Antarctica, it's not so big issue. Not like doing basic needs and also a woman, hygiene needs. I'm not speaking about it. It's like no matter. I'm coming home, I'm telling, there is a table, there is a chair, hot water, there is a bed. It's not obvious. Like we accept everything, like everything is obvious. It's not obvious. Everything what happens, it's not obvious. Like a beer, like a hot water, nothing is obvious. So I appreciate it. I appreciate small things. And I think that the smallest things, it's the most important things in our life.
Yeah. I've never been nearly close to that experience, but the closest I've ever come is kind of the
climbing here to my apartment.
Yeah. Those 4 floors, and then I get up here and I just thank God for but the military. So when you go through tough training and it's, I always say that the tastiest meals I've ever had are like the combat meals, which is like tuna.
Of course.
And like corn. And it's disgusting if you ever ate it in any other circumstance. But when you're
Did you try loof?
Loof, of course. Loof is delicious. After a week of trekking through the desert, then that stuff is...
the noodles from the back, like with the water that melted from snow, it's the best delicious.
Like 3 Michelin stars.
Absolutely. So you want more.
Yeah.
But sometimes there is no more. Like everything what I'm eating, I need to bring. Like somebody need to bring it. Like I need to carry it. So everything is proportional. Yes, of course. Like when we spoke also last time, I'm telling you, of course there is the ego. I want to be on the summit, and there is a big ego. When you're asking me about bad weather, like a common sense telling, you need to go back. Like be in the safe place. But there is a big ego that nobody can be. I'm telling everybody has the ego. Of course, I have ego. All climbers have a big ego, and I'm very, very big. And I want to be on the summit. I came there. I want to be on the summit. I want to do it. And I do everything that will happen. And even if it's going to be dangerous. And yes, also in Everest, dangerous moments. Also in Antarctica. I don't want that it will be like that, but it happens.
And hypothetically, obviously, you probably would not be able to do it alone. Or, I mean, maybe you would, but only you, because you're crazy. But if you were alone, do you think that there was like a higher likelihood that you would give up? You think it has to do with the fact that you're surrounded by, 10, 15 other people?
Or there is a power, of course. There is a power of people. And I sometimes find myself that I motivate other people, telling them not giving up, telling them you cannot give, we need to be together. And actually in Antarctica, when you are going in the rope with other person, if this person going to give up, I cannot continue. So I need to take care of that person. I need to, and the same as that person need to be take care of me, that we going together. And there is a power, of course, there is a power. And as I told you, when we were stuck in a high camp, sitting in the camp, you ask me, what did you do? We did nothing. But we were together speaking nonsense and doing nothing, but all people in the same situation, that it's not only hard for me or I feel not so good, also other persons that sitting near me, sleeping near me, feeling not so good. So it's like all together. Yes, there's a power.
Did anybody give up on the
Yes. Yes. There is a... One man that actually I climbed with him Mount Everest, He didn't feel on the summit day, so he didn't go. He waited us in the highest camp, and the one girl, yes.
Wow.
So yes, it's not good. It's not easy. It's not easy way.
It's sad.
Like it's very sad, but you're very egoistic there. You're taking
Yeah.
care of yourself. So
No, of course.
there. I want to be summited. Like we are, and there's no situations that you are speaking with a person telling, "Oh, please, let's go." No,
Yes, no.
no, yes, no. A very, very.
So out
it's
of
like very
6,
cut.
4 made it to the summit.
Yes, and very, very, very. You cut it. Like
Yeah.
there's no issues. You don't
And-
need.
In Mount Everest, I remember you told us a Sherpa actually died on the trip. Did anything serious happen on this trip, or was it? Are you escorted by
No. Nobody died.
Sherpa-like?
Nobody died.
But are you escorted by like Sherpa-like
Penguin.
people or
Sherpa
penguins?
No.
Like-
In Everest, there's no Sherpa. There's like a sportive climbing. You do everything by yourself. Like it's a
In
little bit.
Everest?
No,
In
Antarctica. Yes,
Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
a different. Yes, Everest. Like there is a Sherpa.
It's
people that
regulated.
are regulated. They're commercial. Like people telling people helping. It's not like 100% sportive expeditions that everything you are doing by yourself. Because actually in Everest there is a Sherpa. Building camps, doing camps, packing, unpacking, bringing food. Yes, you carry yourself, your things, but the like a hard things, tough Sherpas doing
Mm,
on Everest.
mm.
Antarctica
So-
is different story.
You
Everything I
all
do by
you.
myself.
Wow.
can say it's the hardest climb out
Yes,
of the.
absolutely. If again, I told that one day in Antarctica, it's like 10 days. One day in Everest, it's like 10 days in Antarctica. Like
The opposite. One day in Antarctica
day
is
in
like 10
one
days
day
in
Antarctica,
Everest.
like in Everest, you wake up at 5 o'clock a.m. Going sleep at 6 o'clock. It's already dark. And Antarctica is all the day daylight. So you all the day working, like doing something. You're not going to sleep. Like don't understand.
Yeah,
it.
in Everest,
So
there's no day where you're climbing for 29 hours because you can't climb in the dark.
you,
right?
first of all, you climb on the summit. When you are going summit push, you're starting in the night.
Mm.
Of course, there's acclimatization. You're going for like a 3 a.m., 4 a.m. starting. Yes, but you wake up very early and you're going to sleep very early. On Antarctica, all the day you are busy. Like 24 hours in Antarctica, it's like a 10 days in Everest. Like 24, you are doing everything. Like preparing water. If there's like for example, we already ate. We don't eat, but we need to prepare water for the next meal. So we finished eat like food. We need now to start to prepare water for the next meal because I told you 1 liter water it's more than 2 hours. 2 hours takes to prepare. So all the time you are busy packing, unpacking, building camp, unpack the camp, looking for the food or putting the food in the pit because you cannot leave anything when you are going high. Like you are going to the low camp, base camp, high camp. You need to unpack everything and to put everything in the pit. You cannot leave there anything, otherwise wind will take it outside and they are not allowed. So all the time very busy, all the day 24/7 busy. You are sleeping like 3 hours, 4 hours, wake up at 2 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 3 p.m. It doesn't matter. Like you know, I didn't understand what happens to me. Like 25 days in Antarctica, it's like a whole life. I felt that I was like more than years there. Because one day, it's like 10 days. It's unbelievable. It's like a space. Like you are living in the space, different planet that you cannot, different planet at all.
It's like the scene in the movie Interstellar.
Yeah.
When they land on that moon. Remember? And
With
time. And then they come back. They go there for 1 hour. They come back. Turns out it's been 20 years.
Absolutely. It's like, I actually, really, Everest, it's 2 months, difficult expedition, very long expedition. But after Antarctica, I felt like I grown up in 5 years. It was the situation. Like I become like elder than 5 years. Like it's something happens there. Like you're in this space and something happened to the mind. You're staying there, but something happened. I cannot believe it. I cannot even to explain it. But something inside me happens that I cannot.
It
explain.
also, I mean,
Like,
you're if you like physically, right? If you like think about where you are on the earth, right? You're like right now we're spinning around the center of the earth. at a certain, like in Antarctica, you're spinning around yourself at the same speed.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it actually makes a difference, but I wonder if that's somehow.
Earth is flat.
Something happens there. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
Like,
you're kidding.
of course, you cannot sleep because there is a daylight, so you need to put like cover for the eyes and everything in the tent. You need to put your sleeping bag on the mouth because otherwise it's very cold. So it's like
Wow.
the nidbak, like
Yeah,
It
your
sticks.
mouth will
Sticks.
stick closed.
Absolutely.
You'll freeze closed.
So
Some
you
people,
cannot-
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
it sticks.
But
So of course there's frostbites. I came with the frostbites here on my cheeks, on my nose. Of course, it happens.
people can lose fingers and
At
stuff.
fingers.
Judging
fingers.
by your skin, though, you have great skin, so maybe it's like really good for
It's
the
a good-
skin.
it's a
Maybe it's
good-
like a Botox treatment.
People ask me, what are you doing to your face? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to the
You know, I
mountain.
just did a 5-week trip in Antarctica. You should try it sometime.
But what happened? Yes.
Yeah.
So it's unbelievable planet, like a cosmos,
That's
like a
crazy.
space. It's something.
Do you want to go back?
Yes, I told you there. I have a. All the time, people ask me, "What's your next goal? What's your next climbing?" So, and there are no need to ask me because when I finish my climb, like in Antarctica already, when I knew that I will in the come back to the base camp, even we stuck there more than 1 week until the plane came back and can take us. So I already was thinking about my next plans, next goals. So
Naturally.
yes, it's it's like so. I told you that in April, first of all, in April I'm going to climb Lhotse, Mount Lhotse. It's like 8,560 meters. It's a 4 highest mountain in the world. Like there's a 14 mountains in the world. 14 mountains was the 40 mountains above 8,000 meters. That Nims did it. It's like unbelievable what he did. So I was thinking about myself, what I'm going to do, and I want to do this project 40 mountains, like after I will finish 7 mountains on every continent. And I decided to go in April to climb high mountain Lhotse. It's a near Everest. Like you're doing the same acclimatization like in Everest till Camp 4. And after Camp 4, there's a South Pole. Everest going left, you're going to Lhotse right. So it's like 400 meters less than Everest, Lhotse. It's a high mountain. Also, you're doing with oxygen.
Wow.
In April, and in June, I'm going to Alaska to finish my 7 summits project in June. So
What's in
That's-
Alaska?
Alaska, Denali, the highest
Denali.
mountain in North America. Denali.
Wow.
Denali, it's like, yes, it's also the same condition, a little like you are going with a sled, like Antarctica, a little bit like Antarctica, not so cold. Also tough mountain, very tough mountain. You climb with ice axe, with jumar, with crampons. You need all the same technique, going with ropes, crevasses, but less colder than in Antarctica, and going with a sled, all your foot.
Is there
And-
not a peak in the Arctic that you want to?
Antarctica?
No, in the Arctic.
Arctic, there is no peak. There is a North Pole.
It's
that-
all flat. In the,
Flat, yes. And what you are people doing there, so it's in the future, like you are crossing Arctic
Hmm.
and reaching to the North Pole. So
Mm.
in Antarctica there is a South Pole, there is North Pole. So there is also
Is the South Pole accessible?
South Pole accessible.
Like,
There's-
can you reach it, or is it on the? Is it
Of
on the
course.
mountain?
Yes,
Is it on?
there's no mountain, but why Antarctica is so cold? All Antarctica is like above sea level 3,000 meters. Like you start like base camp 8,200, so it's above the sea. That's why it's so cold. North Pole, it's less colder. Why? Because it's on the sea level. Like there is a flat, zero North Pole. So that's the difference, like a
I
little
see.
bit. The difference.
You said you want to do the South Pole, like
crossing, yes.
crossing to reach it.
There is some,
Yeah.
yes, there is some expedition that they want in 2 years, 2024. No, there's time for that. They want to cross all Antarctica and to reach the South Pole. It's going to be 2 months. Almost, it's 1,600 kilometers to cross. So you're doing it by the skiing, cross skiing with sleds, doing it for 2 months. It's very, very, it's like polar expedition, very hard expedition, very, very tough expedition. I know how it should be and what do I need to do, but I need to be very good preparation, very physically preparation, because 2 months every day crossing like 30 kilometers by skiing. And you are coming, building camp, there's nothing. There's only ice. Coming, building camp, doing
Skiing.
what you need to do, preparing and crossing.
Wow.
So there's some,
Danielle,
Wow,
A
thank
lot
you
of
so much for
plans.
coming.
a lot of plans for the future.
may
but
we
I need to work also.
may we record 100 more episodes after
With
with you after
Absolutely.
each of these expeditions
It's
out of each of
fascinating.
these peaks. Yeah.
It's fascinating.
So-
You do lectures.
Yes, lecture, even a lecture now at TED. They
Mhm.
invited me to give a TED talk.
Nice.
It was not easy at all to TED talk, but I
that,
did
that
it.
wasn't easy.
But I told
Yeah.
that Everest was much easier than to do TED talk.
Because it's short. You
Sure,
can't be...
Yes, it's 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything must be 12 minutes. Like, but I did,
so
and I do lectures, and they.
can people reach out for lectures?
Yes, of course,
How
by
can-
Facebook, Instagram, and I'm telling every lecture I start and every lecture I finish, like every person has his own Everest. You don't need actually or his own Antarctica. Doesn't matter. No need to reach on summit Everest. We can reach Everest every day. Like in every day we have many Everest, like a small Everest, so that we can reach and conquer. So we don't need to go as I did to the summit of Everest, because every day we have our summit. So go and do it and conquer. We
Climb
can
your summit. Nice.
Find your
I like that
summit.
message.
Absolutely. Find your Everest on Antarctica. Oh, Denali. It doesn't matter.
Or the fourth floor of an old building in Tel
Yad
Aviv.
Eliyahu.
Yeah. Daniel, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Guys,
much.
we accept donations, so please go to doinjb.com/donate and help us out.
Yes.
Also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. Also send us emails, reach out, tell us what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
like
it.
this episode, share it with your friends,
Yes.
subscribe.
Give us 5 stars on Spotify.
Yeah, definitely.
And that
And
is
go to
it.
2njb.com/merch and get a mug.
Yes.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Noah doesn't want to walk to the
Yeah.
mail.
It's a lot of work shipping it.
It's like climbing Everest.
But let's give Daniel one.
Yes.
And hopefully I'll recover from my severe post-COVID.
Yes.
Guys, you told me something like you got COVID in the
Before 2 weeks ago?
not
3
in
weeks,
the
something like
camp.
that. No, not in the camp. Of course
Okay.
not.
Thank
Okay,
you
guys.
so much,
Thank you,
Danielle.
Danielle. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
See you guys in
Next
the next
time.
one. Happy Purim.
Yes.
Purim.
Purim Sameach. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.